Sean Ali isn't just taking his loss quietly. Nope, he actually thinks there's a real argument to be made that he should have won that first fight against Merab Dvalishvili. Yeah, you heard that right. Even though most people believe Merab completely dominated, Sean says the judges at the Sphere messed up big time, and he broke it all down on a podcast with Israel Adesanya. Now, to be clear, Sean didn't come across like he was whining or making excuses. It felt more like he was just trying to understand how things went sideways. He was looking at the scorecards, rewatching the fight, and pointing out little moments where he felt things slipped through the cracks. But here's the truth. This wasn't some super close split decision kind of fight. While it's fair to say Sean didn't get completely destroyed like some of Merab's other victims, let's not pretend this was neck and neck. He stayed calm, landed his shots, and didn't look lost out there, but the outcome wasn't really in doubt. Merab's constant pressure, non-stop pace, and total control told everyone watching exactly who the better man was that night. So sure, Sean can analyze all he wants, but fans and fighters alike know Merab owned that octagon. Now the real question is, should there be a rematch at UFC 319? Who you got in that one? Drop it in the comments and let's...
On the judges' scorecards, I won round 3 and 5. Round 2 and 4, 100% he won. Round 1 was the one that gave it to him. And in my mind, if you go and watch round 1 with the commentating off, the body shots, I snapped his head back a few times. He took me down. He had me in a front headlock position. The judge made it look like he, going for a Darce or guillotine or something, but he was holding me there. He didn't actually do any damage. The number 1 criteria is damage per round. Round 1, I did more damage. In my mind, everyone has their own opinions, but that fight was a lot closer than people think, and no one really cares to go rewatch it because it wasn't super exciting. I don't blame them. But if you're gonna have an extra opinion, like no, just rewatch the first fight, turn the commentating on.
You're right.
It's like but it was round 2 and 4. He dominated, and it made like that's what sticks out. Kissing and shit. And I fucking almost. And I look back on that. Herb didn't stop it. He didn't say anything. He said, "Hey, quit kissing." Rob gets up. I go to fucking clock.
Let's talk about Paddy Pimblett. This guy has his sights locked on Justin Gaethje. He's calling out the highlights himself and completely brushing off Arman Tsarukyan like he doesn't exist. Fresh off his massive TKO win over Michael Chandler, Paddy's name is back in lights. He might not be next in line for a title, but let's not pretend his stock didn't shoot straight up. And Paddy knows it. He told BBC Sport he's planning to return in October, Abu Dhabi to be exact. And get this, if Ilia Topuria ends up with the belt, Paddy wants that smoke too. But since Ilia's busy, Paddy says the Gaethje fight just makes way more sense right now. He didn't hold back either. He basically called Arman irrelevant. That obviously didn't sit well with Arman, who clapped back hard on X. He accused Paddy of ducking him even though Paddy previously called him out. Arman said Paddy's rise is just hype and shortcuts. Oof. Here's the thing, Paddy might be right that a Gaethje fight would be fireworks, but dismissing Arman like that, rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. It's the classic UFC debate, entertainment versus real contenders. And let's face it, in today's UFC, hype often wins. But if Paddy keeps dodging legit killers like Arman, that backlash will only grow louder. Paddy said, and we quote, "I'm hoping to fight in Abu Dhabi in October. I think that's when I'm going to be back in the cage. I was thinking Ilia might call me out if he wins against Oliveira. I'd love to beat him if he gets the belt. I'd love to fight him anyway, but he's booked. So I think it's more than likely Justin Gaethje. No one cares about Arman Tsarukyan, and people actually want to watch Gaethje fight. People know it'll be an exciting fight. Me versus Gaethje. Tsarukyan is just an absolute tool. And then it's me and Gaethje," Arman shot back saying, "It was obvious you were talking trash with zero intention of backing it up. Your UFC career is built on handouts, hype, and shortcuts to the top. And now, Jon Jones." Oh boy, here we go. Jon finally broke his silence in a brand new interview with Deep Cut, and let's just say he did not hold back. He opened up about what's next in his fighting career, but also took shots at Islam Makhachev. Again, their beef over the pound-for-pound #1 spot has been simmering for a while, and every time someone tries to say Islam deserves that top ranking, Jon finds a way to stir the pot. Now sometimes Jon throws a little respect to Islam's way, but let's be real, whenever the spotlight shifts to Islam, Jon gets petty, real petty. During the interview, the host played a word association game. Names like GSP, Anderson Silva, they came up and Jon gave glowing praise. But when they said Islam Makhachev, Jon didn't even blink. He threw shade immediately. The first thing out of Jon's mouth, backhanded comment that basically said, Islam's only where he is because Khabib pulled him up. That's it. No love for Islam's skill, no mention of his dominance or legacy. Just Khabib brought him up. Fans went wild. Everyone knew what that meant. Jon was basically saying Islam still lives in Khabib's shadow. And the way he said it? Cold, calculated, classic Jon Jones. People instantly clocked it. It was the perfect mix of passive-aggressive and disrespectful. But don't be surprised, that's just Jon being Jon. He doesn't like anyone else even sniffing his throne. And he'll remind you real quick who's still king.
Silva? He's my idol to this day. To this day, I get nervous when I'm around him to this day.
George St. Pierre.
Masterful example.
Daniel Cormier.
Next question, please.
You can give him a. You can give him a good.
I'm proud of that man. I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him. Islam. What is it called when someone's been brought up by somebody else? He's like a
Prodigy.
Prodigy. Yeah, he's prodigy. It's Khabib's prodigy. It's good to see his hard work pay off.
I want Islam in the chair one day. I'm gonna put that out there.
You want it on the chair?
Yeah, I want to interview Islam.
You heard it. You heard it here, Islam.
Could we expect one more rodeo?
I don't know what life holds as far as fighting, competing. I do feel like I'll be a lifelong martial artist, whether I'm coaching others or taking exhibition matches and things like that. There's a lot of great competition still in the UFC.
Meanwhile, Joaquin Buckley is not holding back either. This man wants a title shot, and he wants it now. If he beats Kamaru Usman, he's not settling for just another W. He wants that moment to be massive. He said flat out, if he dominates Usman, he should get a title shot before Islam Makhachev. Yeah, he really said that. Buckley's got big plans, and he's not afraid to say it. He threw out some fantasy matchups in the welterweight division and made it clear he's not just thinking about himself, he wants to shake the whole division. This fight with Usman, it's high stakes, heel high. Buckley just came off a dominant win over Colby Covington. That performance turned heads. Suddenly, people stopped seeing him as hype and started seeing him as a real threat. But on the flip side, Usman's at a rough spot. He's lost 3 in a row. The former pound-for-pound king is in uncharted waters. He needs this win bad. If Buckley does what he says he's going to do, it could be the end of the road for Usman and the start of a title push for Buckley. Maybe against Jack Della or whoever holds the belt by then. Either way, this fight matters, not just for Buckley's rise, but for Usman's legacy.
This is it, I truly believe with the performance that I put on against Kamaru Usman June 14th here in Atlanta, there's no doubt, right, that the UFC should allow me and whoever else, to fight for a title. And, like I said, the next one is the belt, at the end of the day. Don't matter who it is, it's just that opportunity, that title, gonna be around my waist. I say I put Ian Gary with Sean Brady. They already, chirping, they already talking about it. And, with that being said, Shavkat, boy, no telling when he gonna come out, you know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I can see him and JDM end up locking arms, and me, myself, and Islam fighting for something special. Compared to some of the welterweight fighters, these matches are very good, right? With a strong grappling, a strong submission game, being able to be somewhat confident on the feet.
But let's go back to Jon Jones, because what he said next really got people talking. After dropping that subtle jab about Islam living in Khabib's shadow, Jon started getting real about his next fight plans. And trust me, the MMA world was hanging on to every single word. He confirmed that yes, he's still aiming for Stipe Miocic. That fight is still the one he's targeting. But here is where it got juicy. Jon hinted that this might be the last one. That this showdown with Stipe could be the final chapter in his legendary career. Now, fans didn't know how to take it. Was Jon being serious? Is he really thinking of retiring after this? Some believe it's just classic Jon strategy. Say you might walk away, build hype, and then drop a bombshell comeback. Others think he's genuinely considering it. After all, the man's been through wars, suspensions, comebacks, and drama for years. Maybe he really is ready to ride off into the sunset with a legacy sealed in gold. But wait, he wasn't done stirring things up. Jon also addressed the growing conversation about Tom Aspinall. A lot of fans want to see that fight. Young blood versus living legend. But Jon's response, he was cool, almost too casual. He said he respects Tom, but he's just not interested. And that sent the MMA community into a frenzy. Why wouldn't he want to fight the interim champ? Is he ducking him? Or is Jon just being smart, protecting his legacy instead of risking it against a rising monster? Fans were divided. Some said Jon earned the right to choose his final opponent. Others said if he walks away without fighting Tom, it'll leave a huge question mark on his heavyweight run. No matter where you stand, one thing is clear. Jon Jones isn't just fighting opponents, he's fighting narratives, and right now, he's making sure he controls the story. Meanwhile, let's not forget what Jon's subtle insult means for Islam Makhachev. Islam has worked hard to build his own name, stepping out from under Khabib's massive shadow. He's defended his belt, faced top contenders, and shown he's more than just a protege. But when Jon Jones throws shade like that, it cuts deep. Because no matter how great Islam becomes, there will always be people who say, yeah, but he's only there because of Khabib. And coming from Jon Jones, that sting hits even harder. Now the ball's in Islam's court. Will he respond? Will he challenge Jon's comments publicly? Or will he keep rising, letting his performances do the talking? Only time will tell, as all these battles play out inside and outside the cage, between Paddy and Arman, between Jon and Islam, between Buckley and the entire welterweight elite. One thing remains true, this is why we love MMA. It's not just punches and takedowns, it's storylines, it's pride, ego, hype, redemption and legacy all rolled into one giant, explosive show. And with UFC 319 on the horizon and drama boiling from every direction, we're in for an unforgettable ride. So buckle up, the kings are roaring, the challengers are rising, and the octagon, it's waiting.